Chapter 8, multicollinearity. And here's the homework for that chapter. We've got just a very few questions here. He cut way back on how many homework problems he had, and I'm kind of disappointed in that. But anyway, I guess I could make up my own, which I may have to do as I teach this class again. But anyway, on number 3, it's a very simple question. It says, a researcher once attempted to estimate an asset demand. There's a very obvious error being made, and you're supposed to point out what it is. All right, so number 3. Then on number 5, this is data on Hall of Fame voting. MVP voting, and how there's the votes, how many votes they got for MVP, then their batting average, the number of home runs they hit that year, and the runs batted in. Now, it says down here, just as you are about to run the regression, your friend warns you that you probably have multicollinearity. A, what should you do about your friend's warning before running the regression? I'd say he cut back on the number of questions. That's a hell of a good question. All right, that's a really good practical question. That if you had a problem like this and somebody said, you might have some multicollinearity, what would you do about that before running the regression? Okay. B, run the regression with positive expected signs for all 3 slope coefficients. All right, so it says here that the data set is MVP 8. I'm not going to do it for you this time because you ought to be getting really good at running regressions. So find the data for this MVP 8 and run it. And then it says, did you see any signs of multicollinearity? And let's see, run the regression, show the results in the data set. It actually doesn't ask you to answer the question, so you don't have to answer the question. You go, well, I wouldn't have made it worth 4 points. So let me add this on here while you're sitting here watching. Answer the question. I want to make sure you understand which ones to answer the question on when you have to run the regressions. And sometimes I just want you to run the regressions. But I want you to answer the question where it says, what signs of multicollinearity are there? And then on part C, it says, what suggestions would you make for another run of this equation? In particular, what would you do about the multicollinearity? And that's it for chapter 8.